Hello to my Cancers. All right, Cancers, let's get right into it. All right, so Cancers, the moon is in a waning crescent moon in Pisces when you watch the video. So we're going to jump right into the video. All right, so we're closing out a cycle. Video, you'll probably see it on the 26th, actually on the 23rd, excuse me, Wednesday the 23rd. And it can affect the moon. This phase can affect your feet, toes, pineal gland, and then move on into your head, teeth, tongue, arteries. And it can be overwhelming. Moon in Pisces can be overwhelming because we're closing out a cycle. And, you know, like you're putting one foot in front of the other, walking away from something that you believe it's time to go ahead and close out the cycle. You're walking away from something, closing out a cycle. We had a full pink moon in Libra. Libra is about protecting your peace, being balanced out, protecting your peace. You're walking away from something, finally closing out a cycle. The rose-colored glasses have been removed. Like I said, we had a full pink moon. Libra rules 7th house. 7th house is all about partnerships. It's about marriage. It's about business-related, business contracts, inner desires, enemies, those kind of things, right? So you want to be your own worst enemy by staying connected to things that's weighing you down in your personal and professional life. Like it's like something could be internal, it's like really weighing you down. Like, okay, you don't be tied to other people's karmic cycle. That's something that's weighing you down, and you're like, okay, why am I chained to somebody else's karma? Why am I being my own worst enemy? Oh no, in my personal, professional, I need to get the heck out of somebody else's mess. I need to close. The scales from my eyes have been removed. Nope. Let's get into it. All right, let's do it, Cancers. Let's go. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's get it. All right, so my community wants me to thrive. That's right. So you want that for everybody. My community wants me to thrive, right? And so you want people to be you want everybody to be in a community where their community wants them to thrive, not shrivel up and die, right? So you want that for everybody, every human being. You want that for everybody because you can see it when people are not thriving at work. That's why I'm telling y'all, that's why some people release their employees for real, like, and people think people are playing these mind games with people when they say, you know what, if you're not happy here, then you probably will be better off in a better served somewhere else because it seems like this is not the place for you. And they're like, oh, are you letting me go? Yeah, you're not. It's obvious you're not. This is not the place for you, right? Obviously this is not a good fit. It's not a good fit for you, right? So, not a good fit. Not a good fit. Same thing, that's why I always talk about closing out relationships. I mean, like closing out cycles in love. Closing out cycles in love. But then you have those karmics that's just like, they'll close out a cycle first. They'll initiate closing out a cycle, and then it'll hit somebody. Oh my God, Cancer really is a sweetheart. Then they'll be obsessed with holding on to you. You're like, what? They initiated closing out something with you, and then they'll want to hold on to you. Like, okay, obsessively hold on to you. You know why? Because you all are a very nurturing sign. That's why your yes has got to be yes, and your no's got to be no, Cancers. I keep trying to tell people y'all are a sweetheart sign. They'll realize, oh my God, Cancer was a sweetheart, and you're a homebody. You all are the mother and money sign of the zodiac. I'm telling you, men and women, Cancers. People realize y'all are homebodies. Y'all really value staying at home. Y'all make your house your home. Y'all value your time and energy y'all put into your home. That's money. Y'all not out here spending money, spending a whole lot of time doing stuff. Y'all are frugal. So, great investment. You invest your time in people, places, and things. So people realize, oh man, what the heck was I thinking? Then they become a karmic. Because they don't want to resolve something within themselves, so they try to play these mind games. Like, no. Here we have Death card. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is karmic. This is right here what I'm talking about, karmic, right? New beginning, end of a cycle. Change, rebirth, endings, let go. So you're ending something. You're ending something. Yep, you're ending something that is very wounded and very unhealthy. Something that was very, very toxic. It was like literally like drinking poison. You're ending. This is a number 8, right? Death card is Scorpio. We're not talking about a particular Scorpio, but Scorpio is toxic. It's between two energies. You're ending something that's very, very toxic between two energies. Karmics. It's like literally like poison. That was in a community. King of Swords here. Yeah. A corrupt person, somebody who was bribing somebody, who was very manipulative and cruel to somebody. And but they came up against you because you're incredibly smart. Here we have Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah, somebody who was very obsessed with playing on somebody's mind, playing these mind games, spending a lot of time playing mind games with somebody, like reverse mind games. Y'all know what I'm saying? So you had to end something between two karmics. Yeah, so here we have the Two of Cups here. Yep. Yep. Somebody could see that there was some kind of an imbalance. It was something that you witnessed. It was something that you heard. Something that you heard, you witnessed some kind of manipulation between two energies. Something that you witnessed, something that you heard, Cancer. And you ended something within a community. It's almost like you heard something, like maybe in the workplace or something that you heard. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody who's a manager or something about something that you heard that you decided to end, because you say my community wants me to thrive. So maybe you heard somebody who said they wanted to end something, or like something around, you know, like maybe you were looking at something, you saw things through a different lens, because two could be your two eyes. Maybe you saw things through a different lens in your eyes, and somebody literally looked like, you know, like, remember you all are light high priestess, right? And maybe somebody looked like, you know, like when you have the gift, right? A lot of people have more than just one gift. Maybe it's like something looked like the sting of death, like somebody had the fear of death in their eyes when you saw something. When you saw somebody arguing with somebody, you saw something like the fear of death in somebody's eyes, like somebody was scared to death of somebody. Almost like I said, somebody was just obsessed with like working somebody to death, and they was almost afraid of saying no. Something you saw, and something you saw, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. It's almost like somebody wanted to just run away. It's something you heard or something you saw, you know, and it's like two sides of something. Like, so Seven of Swords is like you heard somebody talking about somebody behind their back. I don't believe that this is you, but something reminded you of something, because Seven of Swords is character assassination. And it's what you have in common with someone, right? And so everybody has heard people talk about people behind their backs. Everybody has heard that. Like, you've been sitting in a break room at work and you heard somebody saying, "Oh, did you see what so and so had on today?" or whatever. You know, like in a you know, in a mean spirited kind of way. You're like, okay, I don't know who they talking about, but dang, you know, like, right? But somebody was talking about somebody. they look like death, or they look like they were scared to death, or something like that, or they look like they working somebody to death, or like because the opposite of thrive is like somebody's in survival mode, like they look like they then two people working somebody to death. This is Knight of Pentacles here, like they look like they're working somebody to death, talking about somebody behind their back, right? A Capricorn. This is the World card, right? And Capricorns are a very hard-working zodiac sign, but they have a very strong work ethic. It's one of Aquarius's ruling planets too. But something had already been fulfilled, but it was almost like somebody was just like overworking somebody, literally, intentionally, like literally, like obsessively working somebody, like somebody was working to stay away from something, like how sometimes people will overwork just to avoid something. This could have been something too, like they were avoiding being away from somebody, like something else was going on, some kind of abuse or something was going on, like tension, or something else was going on. So that's why, like, with overworking, because something else was going on. So I feel like you was witnessing you heard something or something. That's what I'm saying here, within a community. Yeah, here we have the Empress card. To grow some abundance or prosperity or something you heard. Yeah. So somebody was obsessively doing something. Somebody was obsessively doing something. Yeah, because if something was just confusing for you, so you're the one you initiated a conversation about something. Here's the Magician card. You initiated a conversation about something. To put it into something, to actually close out a cycle, because that's what the World card is. It's like closing out a cycle. You have to close out a cycle so you can move on from something, right? You can, because I'm seeing growth here. I'm seeing, like, the Empress card is like growing your abundance and prosperity so that you can move on, so that you can initiate, you can move on from something. You can start this, you can focus on your creativity, turn your visions into reality, some kind of willpower or something. But you're going through a rebirth yourself. So something like I said, I'm seeing 7 of Cups here. It looks like a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled, but I feel like you and somebody are going to you and somebody either already had a conversation, or you and somebody are going to have a conversation, but like, yeah, it's a lot going on in your reading. Somebody could be leaving a job. Wherever you're leaving, there's a new beginning happening for you. So something is ending. That's a Death card. Something is ending, because it's almost like I said, within the Death card is an obsession, with something. And you're picking up on a particular energy. You're picking up on some kind of an energy. Yeah, you're picking up on some kind of an energy. Yeah, and so I feel like you are a person who is someone who is very disciplined, very smart. That's what I'm saying. I feel like you're very disciplined and very smart, and I think people may assume that you're running away from something, but I don't Yeah. People, yeah. That's an assumption. That would be people just talking about people behind their back. That's not the energy that you're, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, you're closing out a cycle because I feel like your community wants you to thrive. Matter of fact, looking at your cards here, it's two parts of your reading. I feel like with you, okay. I feel like with you, I'm seeing some kind of, I'm seeing a lot of your wishes being fulfilled, right? So one, if somebody is single, I'm seeing a love offer come in, right? And also a proposal for a job come in. That's for somebody if you're single. And if you're looking for a job, I see that. But I also see somebody who is very private. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards, right? Because and whenever you see sword energy, that lets me know once you get to the King of Swords, that's a person who is also, you've gone through a lot of hurt with people who, and when you get to the Death card, it's like people who are almost been obsessed with, and then you see Seven of Swords here, like people who talked about you behind your back. This is where the relatability, where you're making the connection. Like that's what got somebody to the King of Swords. It's like you you can almost feel it in the air when you're around energies who talk about people behind their back, and you're not paranoid. It's like you're not making something up in your mind, so you know how to protect your energy. You just like you just know how to protect your love life. You know how to protect your job, like you kind of work you do. You just know how to protect your energy very, very well. So people assuming things about you, you just know how to protect your energy. So yeah, somebody's being in a community that wants you to thrive. Yeah. So that's where you're going, to a community that wants you to thrive. Yeah. Yeah. Also, looking at your cards here. You're also looking at your cards here. So the other side of that is that I feel like you can relate to somebody else too, because I feel like you overheard a conversation about someone else of like, you are the smart person that overheard something, that you are a key person that's helped. You or somebody that you know is a key person that's helping put it into a karmic relationship between two people. You and somebody are key people that's helping put an end to a karmic relationship where there could have been a pregnancy involved. I'm looking at the Empress card, and it was just a very toxic relationship where there could have been a pregnancy involved. Where it was just, like I said, the environment was just too toxic, and it's just time to just let it go. Just time to let it go. And somehow you're playing a very nurturing role in just, just helping people to just move on in a very healthy way so that somebody can, thrive. Here we have Eight of Wands. Yeah. You're doing something that's going to help something take some kind of speedy action, because something was very painful. Because, like I said, a death, something was just very, very painful for some people, and you could just tell that somebody was just like, a younger person. Somebody was trying to be patient, trying to, make money or something, but somehow here's a Page of Pentacles here, trying to have this whole new lease on life. Something was somebody was trying to be very responsible, or somehow you are playing some kind of role in helping somebody. Maybe it's like a young couple or something, Cancer, in a situation. Yeah, so there's two parts to this. Five of Pentacles, poverty, ill health, worry, isolation, financial loss, need, insecurity, in a situation. So you were trying to help somebody, I felt like you were trying to help somebody keep their head above water. Somebody who may have felt like just kind of sort of left out of just things, just in general, like who felt worthless, who felt like they just couldn't make enough money, you know, who just couldn't get it together in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Something just seemed like it was imbalanced. Like I said, a karmic tie. That's what it feels like. Something just felt like it was a karmic tie. Yeah, here we have Queen of Pentacles. So it looks like you could be this person who's quite resourceful, fertile, and just having like financial security where you can actually help somebody. That's what it looks like here in the cards. Having access to something. Having access to resources. Here we have Ten of Swords. Like maybe you have access to making sure somebody just does not have a complete painful rock bottom collapse ending in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because it's been like that's what you can relate to. So somehow, Cancer, you're playing some kind of role in There were two people, looking at this card, looking at the reading here, Cancer. There were two energies who created a mess. There were two energies that created a mess. And somehow things just deteriorated really, really fast. This is what I'm picking up on. Two energies created a mess. Somehow things deteriorated. They went left, right? Somehow people are using you and somebody else to clean up a mess, to bring other people into a karmic situation that's already a karmic situation, right? The way that it's being done, though, I could tell you right now, the whole thing is just karmic. The whole thing is just karmic. I can tell you that right now. Because when you say my community wants me to thrive, and if it starts out in confusion and to have a whole new beginning, something needs to be flushed. Whenever you see the death card, right, and a rebirth needs to happen. A rebirth needs to happen because this world card means fulfillment, right? Fulfillment. That means everybody in the community needs to be fulfilled, right? Everybody wants everybody to thrive. Everybody wants everybody to thrive, right? But this Five of Pentacles here is concerning because looking at the cards here, it looks like there's some stuff that's going on behind closed doors where almost like people are almost made to feel like they're left out of something, like there's conversations going on behind closed doors. Some rules are already in place. Rules are already in place. So here we have Page of Wands here. So this is a message here. So it's a message that there's karmic relationships already behind. This is a message here. This is a message. It's a shady message. This is shade. This is a shady message. There's already some shade behind closed doors. There's already a shady message behind closed doors. Somebody is saying they already went down a rabbit hole. You know, it's like resourceful energy. Somebody's saying they're resourceful. Fertile. Like somebody is already saying, okay, well, we don't. I don't know who this is saying, but somebody is saying, we don't really want certain energies behind, here. Somebody's already being shady. Somebody's already being shady behind closed doors. And that's the problem. That is the problem. Somebody's already being shady. And so all I can say about this reading here, Source is saying to you, looking at the cards here, this is why the Death card is here, and this is why the World card, something has been fulfilled. The whole purpose of this entire reading is to go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated, right? So to bring it all full circle, somebody has, you have a lot of your wishes being fulfilled, both in your personal and your professional life. But we had a full pink moon in Libra, and that's the scales. And Libra is a very peaceful sign. We're not talking about any people that are Libras that you know. But Libra rules 7th house. So as it relates to marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, and enemies, do not be an enemy to yourself by staying anywhere as it relates to marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, or enemies. Don't be an enemy to yourself by staying where you are tolerated and not where you're appreciated. And you got somebody here who feels like, who is already being shady towards somebody, by not wanting somebody behind closed doors. They don't want somebody to be a part of something, whoever this is, right? And that is okay that they don't want somebody to be a part of their family, or they don't want somebody to be a part of their bloodline or lineage or whatever. That's okay. They don't want somebody to be a part of that. And this is a younger person, right? Well, send them back to their family. Send them back to their family where they can go where they are appreciated and not simply where they're tolerated. But what's not cool is to make somebody feel is even lower to a point where they don't want to be here anymore. That's what's not cool. And the same thing is if a person is in the workplace. That happens a lot of times in the workplace. Don't stay on a job where people keep telling you that you're not. You went to school, you got your degrees, you worked hard to get where you were, and you're just coming into work trying to be high vibrational as possible, and people keep showing you they don't want you there. Every day you got to go home and you feel like, okay, you don't want to be there anymore. You just want to end it. Why stay there? It ain't no paycheck that big. Your life is worth more than that. That's the source keep trying to tell somebody. Want to close out a cycle? Somebody said they don't want to be your friend anymore. Close out the cycle in love. Don't stay where you're simply tolerated. No community that just wants you to be in survival mode. Close out the cycle in love. If you're a parent, an auntie, a mentor, a best friend, encourage people. If somebody don't want to stay with you, hey, let them go in love. Don't throw shade at them. Their family, none of that. Release them in love. Okay, hey, that's not where they want to be. Right? Don't let your demons take over. Close out the cycle in love. Don't call them the devil. Everybody has demons. That's called temptations. Don't operate in the flesh. Right? 9 of Swords. Don't cause them a nightmare. Don't traumatize people. Don't traumatize people by telling them they can't talk to people that they love and all this craziness. Demonizing their loved ones and causing them nightmares, and they depressed and they just don't want to live anymore. So this is what I'm seeing here in the cards. So somehow source is using you and somebody to cause somebody to cut ties with something. Here's the because something is bringing back memories for you. Something is nostalgic for you. A time of innocence, healing, reunions, gifts, something that's familiar. So yeah, you are fulfilling some source is using you to fulfill two people's wish. You're closing out something. Scales from your eyes have been removed. You're taking some kind of action. You are taking some kind of action. Yeah. I feel like you may have tried to hang in there long enough, but you have taken some kind of action. You're using godly wisdom. You've taken some kind of action to end something, because something has just been like, like I said, here we have the Two of Wands. You're waiting on some kind of results. You were trying to make some decisions, but something has just gone on too far. Something has gone too far. So, yeah, King of Cups. Yeah, King of Cups. Yeah, so. Well, that's what I'm seeing for you. That is what I'm seeing for you. That is what I'm seeing for you. So yes, it's like I said, you take what resonates with you. Take only what resonates with you. Only what resonates with you. Like only what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't. Remember, readings are not always readings could sometimes resonate with your colleagues. I think sometimes people forget about that with readings. Sometimes readings could resonate with somebody that because somebody may need you to intercede on their behalf. Just remember that. Somebody may need you to intercede on their behalf. Humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way, and I delight in receiving it. Humility. I delight in receiving it. Luck is on your side. Yeah, luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. Let me see if we got anything in these this deck of cards here. Let's see what else we got going on here, Cancers, and we're gonna go ahead and close this out. But yeah. If you want love in your life, for those of you all who want love in your life, something is going to make you feel like a kid again. Something is going to make you feel like you all have known each other your whole lives. That's what it's going to feel like. And I'm seeing travel, just kind of getting out there in the world, flying here and there. It's almost going to feel like for some of you all, if you're, dating, if you're open for dating, it's almost going to feel like you all have traveled together before, right? Some people are reuniting with their kids. Maybe it could be adult kids. Some of you all are reuniting with other people who are like kids for you. But something is going to feel like you've traveled lifetimes together. Whatever the situation is, it's going to feel like you've traveled lifetimes together, like you're awakened from a nightmare, actually. Like reconnecting, talking again. Yeah. Yeah, because not talking to certain people really does feel like a nightmare. So it does feel like a nightmare for some people. It just, Yeah. Something just feels like a nightmare. A light on something almost feels like somebody was being fed poison. The smile and the food and all of that. Just for somebody, it feels like somebody was being fed poison. Here's a plate of food. Almost with the smile, and then here's some food. Almost for somebody, just feel like a light was being shown on, just feeding poison to somebody. Because with that came the talks about, just very hurtful or painful talks about, somebody behind their backs. Competition. Does so-and-so cook? Do they do this? Do they do that? Behind somebody's back. And that is painful to somebody that you love. It's like, okay, with this food comes the conversation about people behind their backs. So Especially when people who are compassionate, people who are really, really compassionate, you know, they fill with compassion. But anyway, yeah, so. Yep. A lot of secrets. The moon exposes a lot of secrets. So at nighttime, you don't know, you can't tell the difference between what's a delusion, you know. Yep. So with the moon card, you know, it connects us with spirituality, addictions, healing, solitude, endings, secrets, a lot of emotions up under that moonlight. Because you don't know what to believe. It's the I believe sign. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what to believe. A lot of secrets. So, but with that sun, this is the sun card. The sun exposes a lot of. The sun exposes the moon. It sits behind the moon. When people are apart. When people are apart. The sun card, Leo rules the sun card. The sun rules Leo. I'm not talking about any Leos that you know. Obviously, you and Leos are the only signs that are ruled by luminaries. Leos rule 5th house, and that's the house of romance, creativity, children, projects, fun, self-expression, hobbies, what makes you feel good, right? So after all the secrets, here's something to make you feel good. Right? All right. Let's go ahead and after a rebirth, here's something to make you feel good. Here's some money. Here's some food. Here's some money. Four coins. 4 and 6 of coins is 10 of pentacles. Tradition. All right, let's close this out. Let's close this out. So 2 of Wands is, you know, somebody leaves home. Somebody leaves home. Church hat. Emotions are running high. Emotions are running high. It's looking at a wishbone here. Somebody's wishes. That is what I have for you. That is what I have for you, Cancers. Self-sacrifice. So you will be making some quick decisions. Like I said before, these are two karmics here in terms of making some decisions. Cause a lot of confusions. Cause a lot of confusion. These dark magicians, but you are in the middle of I feel like Cancer, you are the decision maker. You're the one that will be ending something. You're the one that's going to be ending something. So kudos to you for making a decision. You're the one that's the final decision maker on something. And somebody being chained to the devil. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully this has been helpful. And like I said, you're divinely protected. You don't have anything to worry about. Divinely protected. You're divinely protected. Like I said, you made a lot of sacrifices. And like I said, luck is on your side. Emotions are running high. In all humility, somebody had to seek Source's wisdom. And that's what I have for you. All right, bye.